Welcome back, everybody. I'm back with more breaking information on the EIDL updates around the grants and the loans. We're going to take a deeper look of what is going on with the grants and part of the new infrastructure bill that is being proposed and more than likely will be signed into law. We're going to take a deeper look of everything that's going on with what's happening in the media right now. There's a lot of PR, a lot of information flying back and forth. We're going to break that all down for you today. So share this video with everybody you know inside the EIDL program, whether they are in the grant program or the loan program. There's a lot of great information contained inside. Let's get you guys all caught up. Welcome back, everybody. I'm back with that lineup on the EIDL grants and the loans. I announced yesterday breaking information on the EIDL grants, the fact that the money is going to be removed inside the new infrastructure bill. I want to take a deeper look today of what's going on and review some of the different points of view across the different media that is out there reporting on this. It has been indeed a PR nightmare, okay? First, I just want to clear the air and start off by saying all of the YouTube channels that you see in existence here that report on EIDL, the grants and the loans, we are not against each other by any means, okay? We are actually all here for you. Jason, Max, Ryder over at Skip, of course, Speak and See. And yes, of course, we do have different points of view from time to time because we grab different pieces of media, we interpret it a little bit differently, and then we report on what we hear, because we want the small business community to have no surprises out there, all right? The best way to prepare yourself for these unforeseen times is to have a little bit of risk mitigation and know it's coming so that you're not surprised, expecting something or not expecting something, and then having, a disaster occur for you, okay? So I just want to clear it up. The channels are not against each other. We just want to make sure that you get the best information possible, okay? And I'm here for you guys each and every day. We do support the changes in the business community. We do support everything that's going on out there. I'm a financial educator, okay? My name is Edward Bilder, and I have been here for over a year now reporting on EIDL, stimulus, everything that's going on all these packages, PPP, you name it, here for you guys, all right? And the best secrets that I can give you is to avoid risk, right? Prepare yourselves and of course get into that passive income if that's something you want to seek. So I want to first start out with a timeline here because there's been a lot of bills proposed that's become law. There's been a lot of things that have happened and we tend to forget some of the things that we've already cleared up in the past, okay? So there's been some announcements that there's possibly $40 billion out there, and we're going to be able to clear a lot of that up by just going through a simple timeline, all right? The CARES Act did bring us $20 billion. This was back in 2020. And that turned into advanced grants through the EIDL program, which ended up giving $1,000 to each person out there per employee up to $10,000. So if you had 10 employees, you got $10,000. If you only had one employee, you only got $1,000. Next came the Consolidated Appropriations Act. That brought an additional $20 billion. That's where that 331, 332 comes in, and where the targeted advanced grants finally came in. Next came the American Rescue Plan. That brought an additional $15 billion in targeted advanced grants and then supplemental targeted advanced grants. This split $10 billion and $5 billion to support both of those programs. Now, there are reports out there telling us not to worry, that there's still plenty of money left inside of the targeted advanced grant program. But first, let's clear the air here. $40 billion that's being talked about out there inside of 332. That is inside the Consolidated Appropriations Act, and that was a strike and replace. Essentially, $20 billion was used up inside the CARES Act back in 2020. And when they brought the new Consolidated Appropriations Act, they had to say, we need to go and replace that $20 billion that has been used already. And because we're adding an additional $20 billion, we need to now call this $40 billion total. All right, so they basically said strike $20 billion and replace it with $40 billion for a total of $40 billion. Some reports came out back in early 2021, back around January, where everybody's saying, great, there's $60 billion out there. They took 20 plus 40 and they created $60 billion. This was a big rumor that's been flying around for quite some time, all right? So the starting point from 2021 is $35 billion. That's the new $20 billion that came with the with the Consolidated Appropriations Act, and then another $15 billion that came with the American Rescue Plan. I know this could get confusing, right? And approximately, I'm just going to say approximately $3 billion or so has been used up and funded to all the applicants in targeted advance grants and supplemental targeted advance grants. I'm going to keep the numbers very simple here and just keep it at $3 billion. Okay, so it's very important to understand what is written inside the new infrastructure bill, because there are some things that are very clear in black and white, and there are some things that come off as an assumption. And we're going to talk about the differences between those two things, okay? Right now, what is very clear in black and white is they are rescinding the unobligated funds from different acts, okay, various acts throughout the 2020 and 2021 year. And what is very obvious, and it's not debated one bit, is that $17.6 billion of unobligated funds will be rescinded from the EIDL targeted advance grants. That is very clear. It spells it out, $17.6 billion. And that fund is coming from the Consolidated Appropriations Act. Very clear. You can see that. It's part one of the rescinding, all right? What is not obvious is the second part here. We're going to take a look at the second part here, because this is where I'm seeing they are actually removing all of the funds from the targeted advance grants and the supplemental targeted advance grants. You have to follow through the different in order to connect all these points. See, inside the new infrastructure bill, where it says part 2 here, of the unobligated balances from the amounts made available in section 5002B of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, part A says the amounts may be transferred and merged with the Small Business Administration Disaster Loan Program account for the cost of direct loans authorized under Section 7B of the Small Business Act, right? So that means they're transferring funds from the American Rescue Plan, Section 5002B, okay? And it goes on to say there's a Part B and a Part C where they're going to take $500 million and pay out salaries and expenses before they transfer it, and then another $992 million for some guaranteed loans, which we're going to talk about those later on a different video, okay? But Section 5002B, let's go over and take a look at Section 5002B, because it's very important. This is where the assumptions come in that people are starting to miss inside the media. If I go to Section 5002B of the American Rescue Plan, it says Targeted EIDL Advance. Section B, Appropriations. This is where the $15 billion is coming in. It says, in addition to the amounts otherwise available, there is appropriated to the administrator for the fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $15 billion. And then it further goes on to say $10 billion will go to targeted advance grants and $5 billion will go to supplemental targeted advance grants. That is the biggest key that everybody in the media is missing. They're not connecting 5002B with this transfer over to direct loans authorized under Section 7B. Now, if you guys are seeing it a little differently than I am, please leave a message in the comments. I would love to come on here tomorrow and report to everybody that yes, in fact, there is plenty of money left inside the EIDL grant program, because delivering this message and delivering this news is not fun for me. It's not fun for anybody, okay? But I want you guys to be set up for success and understand what risks are coming up. Now, I want to talk about the CNBC report before we leave here, so don't go anywhere. Because yes, I did also read the CNBC report, and I know they are a trusted source, and I know some other channels rely heavily on them and report back on the information that we see there. But nowhere inside of that article does it say that there is $13.5 billion left remaining for the targeted advance grants or the supplemental targeted advance grants. This is what I'm believing to be a bit of an assumption, okay? Because if you take the funds of $35 billion and you start subtracting, you say take away 17.6 and then take away $5 billion for the targeted advance and then take away the $2.8 billion that's been allocated already, that's been obligated already, you're left with approximately $13.5 billion from that original $35 billion of 2021 funding. And so yes, everybody is making the assumption, great, there is still $13.5 billion left there. But the point I still am trying to make here is that I do not see that there's $13.5 billion left in there. I want to make sure that everybody gets the most up-to-date information as possible. Okay, so I will continue to track this. I am here for all of you. I will be here each and every day. Please remember to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get your updates each and every day and you don't miss out on something very key and important inside of these updates. And before you guys leave today, if you are still seeking additional revenue streams and want to change your futures, you can always swing by the description right now and check out my crash course on Airbnb, where you could take a $50 bill Get into the real estate game, start cash flowing in 3 business days, earning an extra $5,000 to $10,000 each and every month. You don't have to own the real estate to do this, and when you want to scale up and make more money, you just repeat the process over and over again. I live and walk this life each and every day, and my crash course is on a mega sale found in the description right now. That sale will end very soon. I left it go here because I had some bad news I wanted to deliver, and I left the sale go a little bit longer because I wanted to give you guys some positive events here so you guys could change your futures. All right, if you want to join my Zoom calls, you can always join my Zoom calls. I hold Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and learn how you could partner with me and my current B&Bs. Join my Zoom calls. Find me on Instagram or leave a message down below in the comments. I wish you all the best. I wish I had better news, and I will continue to track this each and every day. I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.